Hey everyone, so today we're going to go over 8 cardinal rules of self-defense. There's 8 things that you should keep in mind when dealing with any situation. Before we start out, thanks to all my subscribers and all my new subscribers. I've got a few new ones lately, and that's awesome, guys. End of the video, I try to give people value in my videos. So at the end, I'm going to give you a good health tip to keep you in shape. Say if the weather's not good, you can even do this outside on a hot day. I do it pretty regularly. It's good for your bones, keeping your bones strong, and toxifying your body. So I'll get into that at the end. 2 health tips I'll give out straight away, and you can Google them. It's worth 5 minutes finding out about these. One is shungite, and the other is earthing. Now, earthing will or earthing's otherwise sometimes known as grounding. Basically connecting with the earth. The easiest way to do it is putting your bare feet on the ground, but now you can buy products so you can be earthed inside. You can be earthed 8 hours while you sleep, earthed while you're on the computer. And why is this good? Because earthing gives you electrons that your body needs. Basically, humans are electromagnetic fields, and as we go through life, electrons in our cells we lose electrons. Then the Earth gives off an infinite amount of electrons, and these help you. What does earthing do? It does a variety of things. Most diseases are caused by inflammation, so one of the main things that earthing does is decreases and eliminates all inflammation. And also, one major thing that earthing helps is a stress hormone called cortisol. Earthing, that's why if you sleep earthed, it'll bring the cortisol levels back into a normal level. Everybody's out of sync at the moment. Most people, 99.9% of the population, their cortisol levels. Excuse me. And shungite, what does shungite do? It's a mineral or rock. You want to look it up if you want to know, does it actually work? Well, look up shungite and bees, bees that produce honey. Shungite is SHUNGIT, and it's it'll keep, it's like earthing. It'll keep the worst of things like 5G, any Wi-Fi, any electromagnetic fields in your environment. It'll keep those. It would at least lessen the burden of those electromagnetic fields. Well, anyway, let's get into this. Now I'll leave the links down below for that, for the earthing and the shungite. Don't forget, I'm gonna give a what I think's pretty fun to do too, health tip at the end. Let's go through these quickly. You can probably read them in your own time by watching the video, but I can see here's the 8 things that you sort of assume in any self-defense situation. You assume that an attacker is intent on permanently injuring or killing you. That should be a given. Okay. 2. Consider any and every environment. One thing the self-defense company does that a lot of self-defense people don't do in a lot of martial arts. The only time I've seen this, what they do is on the self-defense system, they actually stomp when they hit the ground, so they lift their legs, stomp, you know, as you're hitting, you're lifting your legs, stomping, driving forward, you know, because it gets that forward momentum going. It also serves as a skier tactic, and it gets you driving forward. So you're picking, you actually, you know, you're making sure you pick your legs up, and you know, you're bending your knees, you're driving forward. Now, I actually went to this other self-defense. It was actually, I think it was a close combat thing too, years ago here in New Zealand, and it was actually, it was crap. One thing this guy was telling me to do is to, like, slide your feet, and you know, slide your feet. The first thing you're going to do when you slide your feet is hit each and every rock that's there, and that might be okay on the dojo or whatever, but sliding your feet is not going to do the job. By, you know, stomping, basically, with every step, you are avoiding and making sure at the same time that you've got a steady grip on the ground, and you're avoiding any crap on the ground, basically. 3, defend yourself even if you're not feeling well. So you're going to have to assume that, because most people, like say here, will only go after people that look like, you know, they're weaker or tired or stressed or you know, weak. That must be on the set of James Bond. Looks like Daniel Craig there injured himself for real. Assume there's more than one assaultant, okay? Because there are some, but most people, you know, to get their courage up, or, you know, because a lot of people that do shit like this when they're by themselves, not all, I'm not saying all, but a lot of them only get courage when they're around a whole bunch of people, you know, a whole bunch of their mates or whatever. Assume your assailant is larger and stronger. So, can you fight off someone who towers over you? Ladies, have you ever practiced fighting off someone who has 50 pounds on you and a distinct strength advantage? So the self-defense training system covers all this. Covers, you know, how to do that. Assume your assailant is tougher and accustomed to violence. So assume that they're used to it. You know, used to violence, used to hassling people, used to burglaring, assaulting people. Assume that your assailant is armed. Yep. That's a biggie. They could have knives in the back of their pants, you know, guns at the back of the pants, knives in their socks, you know, push daggers around their neck, whatever. Assume that you'll be dealing with the worst case and most nightmarish scenario you could ever imagine. Okay? So those are the cardinal rules, the things that you should assume about every potential incident. Don't get hung up on a system or style. If your intent is self-defense, then there's only one thing you should care about: results. There's only one solution for self-defense, and it is simple, powerful, and brutal. There's no such thing as advanced self-defense. It's all simple because it has to be. When someone approaches you and decides to turn it up and your adrenaline hits, all those fancy and intricate moves go right out the window. Yep. What else is this? I haven't... oh yeah, so that's just people's comments there. So let's go run through that quickly again. Well, I like it to be the best. I know I'm a little bit biased. That said, when selecting a martial art for self-defense, certain standards have to be met regardless of your style or system. For those of us at the self-defense company, we go by 8 simple rules that can help you. And these are, again, assume that an attacker's intent of permanently injuring or killing you. pretty common sense sort of things, but consider any and every environment, so you have to train for that. Defend yourself even if you're not feeling 100%. Assume there's more than one assailant. Assume your assailant is larger and stronger. Assume your assailant is tougher and accustomed to violence. Assume that your assailant is armed. Assume that you'll be dealing with the worst case and most nightmarish scenario you could ever imagine. Now guys, once again, thanks to my subscribers. Now look, I also have to say that YouTube does what they call, because I talk about some stuff that YouTube doesn't necessarily like, they've done to me what's called shadow banning, which basically means sometimes I don't see, people, there'll be comments on my videos and I can't see them. To me, there looks like there are no comments. I've had people say to me, one lady actually sent me a comment and I saw it. Luckily, she said, well, this is strange. Your video has got, what'd she say? 3 likes and no views. So things like that happen. I'll have no views, but 3 or 4 likes, and just things like that. And sometimes I don't see comments, like I say, or all the comments are put in spam, and they're not spam. So if you guys do comment or whatever, and I don't get back to you immediately, it could be because of that, because I do try to answer everybody's, and get see what people are saying, because in the past I've had some really good feedback. People have taught me heaps in their comments and that. So it's good to have that interaction. It's good to know where I could improve, etc. So like in the past, people have said that I and ha and that too much. I do on the longer videos. I tend to do that because I'm flying by the seat of my pants. Basically, I have a lot to go over. Sometimes I'm actually, when I'm talking about especially truth of stuff, when I'm connecting all the dots, I don't write anything down or anything like that. Maybe I might have to start doing that, but I like to be, sort of keep it as real as possible. And when I'm connecting dots, when I'm doing like pattern recognition stuff, I feel like my mind has to be free to do that pattern recognition stuff, and then finally bring it all together. Another comment was that I sort of smack my lips sometimes. I do, that sort of business. So it's all good feedback, and I'm trying to remedy some of that stuff. You guys wouldn't believe, or maybe you do, wouldn't you wouldn't believe how once you got into a habit with your talking, how tricky it is to change it. I do subconscious programming, so if I can't get rid of some of those habits that I do on thing, but I'll try to do it without subconscious programming, because I try to leave the subconscious programming for the major stuff. Stuff that you want to, that's been programmed into you, and like whatever, you've been programmed to with certain beliefs, like whatever, money's bad or whatever. So there you go. Now guys, so new people, if you can hit that subscribe button, like I say, I try to give value in all my videos. So there's self-defense. I've got many more self-defense ones coming. I kind of trying to combine it with health techniques too, and over the years I've actually tried and tested these and found them to be awesome. There's one I'll tell you about in a minute, but if I leave links down below to all the self-defense material, links below to Shungite. I'll also leave a link to one of the things I'm going to talk about in a minute, good health tip, which, like I said, I still do and I'll probably do, you know, for the rest of my life. Every now and then, like once a week at least, for 30 minutes, just to keep the body good, detoxed and bones strong, etc. Yeah, so guys, if you can, one thing you can do to help me out, if you can't, you know, donate any money or whatever, just watch my videos on YouTube, because that helps me out. And not YouTube, sorry, BitTube. If you don't know about BitTube, it's go and look at it. Sign up, guys. Make a channel on BitTube. It's fantastic. One thing about BitTube is they've got a tip button, and you can tip if you find value in just that one video. You know, I wish that YouTube would do something like this. Just for one video, you know, it doesn't have to be all your videos or whatever. You can tip them for that one video, you know, $1 or whatever. So if you can do that if you watch this on BitTube. There should be a button under this video regarding that. Sorry about that, guys. There was all my stuff on Screenomatic. Right. So this, yes, but if you can't do anything else, guys, though, I tell you, I'd get on BitTube. I love it. But yeah, if you can't do anything else, you know, I'd really appreciate it if you can sub. Now, if you guys also got, you know, similar channels to me in that, you know, that I would watch, because I'm not really into the sub for sub thing, because, you know, people do that, they sub for sub, but then they don't, you know, there's not much likelihood that you're going to actually watch that person's channel if it's not stuff that they're interested. But you know, if you've got similar channels to me and you think I'd be interested, you know, just let me know in the comments. I think though that could be quite tricky, because as soon as you put your, you know, your YouTube channel, it might be okay with the YouTube address, but yeah, because sometimes they put it in the spam. But yeah, just let me know if you've got a channel, and I'll go and have a look, and I'll sub, you know, if it's interesting stuff. It's about helping each other out. But yeah, I'm not into the sub for sub. But like I say, if it's people are doing other, you know, interesting stuff that, you know, you're interested in my channel and I'm interested in your channel, you know, it just makes sense to help each other out. Okay. Now, so I've got the links below. Now the health tip for today is, if you haven't heard of it, it's rebounding. I've highlighted that because writing's hard to see. But you remember, you know, when you were young, my son and I used to do bouncing on trampoline, I sort of wondered why I always felt good afterwards. And you know, bouncing up and down on a trampoline, and you can do it indoors with a little rebounder like here. But people think you can just, you know, you just bounce up and down, and there's some of the benefits there. It's associated with muscular growth, reducing arthritic pain, detoxification. That definitely does that. Why does it detox? The main thing that rebounding or jumping on trampoline does is gets your lymphatic system moving. You know, the little valves that will open and close, and usually if you're not doing anything, they don't open and close much. And the you know, jumping up and down, it flushes the lymph nodes, all the toxic stuff that it's in the lymph nodes, keeps the body healthy. Now people think, you know, oh, it's boring jumping up and down, but look at all the stuff you can do. Slow pace jumping, fast pace jumping, walking, jogging, rebound, sprinting, star jumps, knees jumps, scissor jumps, high jumps. So you can do all that on a rebounder. You know, 20 minutes a day, you know, a couple of times a week or whatever. Yeah, it's very practical. It's all in one. You can fold, this particular one that I've got a link to below is called Nedak, from nedak.com. They seem to, you know, do awesome stuff, and then, you know, they, you can buy, you know, all sorts of rebounders too. Now people think, well, I'm too heavy for a rebounder. No, they've actually got quite a few. Here we go. Rebounders. Let's have a look. They've actually got quite a few, guys. All sorts, you know, for the heavier people, etc., etc. So they've got soft bounce rebounders. One thing you probably couldn't do is a back flip it or forward flip. I used to like doing those with the sun. There's hard bounce, if you want a hard bounce. £600. So guys, I don't think many of you out there would be over 600. And these ones, soft bounce, up to £300. And then £600. Okay. So don't think, oh, I'm too heavy, you know, I'll break it. No, you won't. Now, when you're finished with these, you can fold them away. Easy fold away, easy to fold away. And the good thing about it is you can do them inside, or if it's a sunny day, you know, take it outside and bounce away outside. You feel really good, you know, and you can watch YouTube and bounce away, get fit while you're bouncing on YouTube. Another thing, not bouncing on bloody YouTube. Another thing I read somewhere that rebounding, what it does is strengthens your bones, because you know your bones are getting used to going against the forces of gravity, because that's what you're doing. Or you know, because you have the gravity pulling on you, and then it's supposed to be good for your bones. So there's all you can do, so it doesn't have to be boring. I'll leave links below to this, and guys, we'll see you on the next one. Hopefully there's some value there. You know, if you think that this is not good, you know, I used to think that once upon a time, but it's you could do, I think, oh, where did I see? Some boxer, I forget who it was. Some boxer, that's all he used to do, was just his workout on a rebound. Obviously, he was probably doing all sorts. Imagine skipping. I haven't tried that, skipping on a rebounder. But yeah, some boxer, apparently he did all his training on a apart from, I don't know if you could probably, you know, jog on it too. So there you go, guys. I'll leave links for that below, and I'll see you on the next one.